All right, so who y'all using again? Just so everyone can hear it.
Thor.
Yeah, and I'm using Momo from Little Nightmares 2. I said Momo, I meant Mono. Oh my god.
All right. Well, I guess if y'all want to go ahead and get ready, state your arguments and stuff, your premise. I'll just go ahead and mute. Well, y'all want any judges or what?
Yeah, if you want.
I mean, I don't really care.
Well, I guess the whole, like, if you need to, the whole VC can, or like three of us can, like Benjamin, me, and like Slick. Yeah, is that good?
Yeah, that's fine. Anyone who wants to judge is welcome to, in my opinion.
All right, that's cool then. Yeah, that's cool. So I'll just mute and y'all can just.
All right.
You can state your premise first.
All right. My premise is Mono's passive existence is going to defeat Thor.
Okay. I'm just going to argue that he's going to resist wherever you throw at me. I'm going to argue my AP's higher.
Right. Considering AP was part of your premise, do you want to go over that?
Yeah. Wait, what do you mean by go over that?
You say your AP is higher. Do you want to like define your AP, and then like I'll define mine. We upscale it.
Like absurdly high in Uni Plus.
All right. Can you show a feat that's above Uni Plus, please?
Sure. I'll just give him a baseline for now. If I need to argue higher, I will.
All right, that's fine.
Okay, so Cubic and Cosmos are even infinite 4D, right?
Yep.
And by infinite 4D, I mean like they're just really absurdly high in Uni Plus.
Yeah, so it's like an infinite space time. I know what you mean.
Yeah, and you got Cubic states outright states that Celestials transcend them in terms of power. Like they can't fathom them in like terms of power.
All right.
And you have Null able to kill these Celestials like relative ease. It'll be like during this time, maybe around the fourth host. And Null, well, he scales above like any hosting, regardless. Then you have Gord the God Butcher, who is stated to improve the Necrosword or evolved it to a point where it's like better than the way Null did. He eventually merged with it, and like he just like overall improved its powers.
Okay.
And then you have Old King Thor one-shotting that same gore, basically.
He just for context, he one shot him with 2 hammers. Am I correct?
Nope, different gore. That gore will just have the symbiote. The gore I'm talking about merged. Well, he basically merged with Multi Eternity, but I'm just downgrading.
Okay, that's fine.
Let me get that for you.
All right. Tell me which scan zone you're posting it into, because so many people are posting. I can't tell what's the new message.
Go to zone 1.
All right. Yeah, there's stuff for cubic. That's perfectly fine.
Let me get null.
I'm gonna check over the null stuff because I haven't seen it in a long while. All right. So like, just correct me if I'm wrong. The scaling is cubic sees like celestials as like uni plus and null
Nope.
equal.
Nah, Cuban and Cosmos, they're basically high into Uni Plus, right? Celestials, Cubit says they transcend them, but the Celestials transcend Cubic and Cosmos.
All right.
Null negs them. Gore scales above Null. Old King Thor negged him.
So you're saying like, and part of what you said earlier, did you say like null neg the fourth host or something like that?
Yeah, but he scales above all of them anyway.
All right. I was just asking like for numerical layers because like there's 9 celestials in the fourth host and stuff like that.
I mean, I can show you him slapping the fifth host if that's better.
I can't remember how many are in the fifth host. Is it more than 9?
Oh, it's a lot. I mean, it's verbatimly it's implied that he's above the Celestials entirely. He like kills them pretty easily. The only reason he got banished and because they were like scared of him. It's not that they were more powerful than he was.
All right, so like he's above an entire race of uni plus beings then. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I can do that too. So we agreed that like scaling above an infinite time space or like an infinite timeline, that'd be like uni plus, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in the story of Little Nightmares, there's a time paradox, and the time paradox is powered by a being called the Thin Man, who's a weakened future version of Momo. I'll just get you. We'll have to try and get you stuff to like get all that out. So, ooh, um, I'll just get all the stuff I need here. There's a bunch of timestamps here. Don't worry about posting more scans. They're already accepted at this point. Okay. So yeah, is a video of Mono killing what is the Thin Man, and then you see at the end of the video, well, later on with the second timestamp, Mono becomes a Thin Man and he powers the signal tower to create like a time paradox. Which, if you're powering a time paradox, that'd be uni plus because it's an infinite time space.
Uh-huh.
And then to like see, so I mentioned how Thor, Old King Thor, would scale to null, who scales to like a whole race of uni plus beings.
Yep.
Yeah. So the power of the signal tower, which is like this uni plus, is expressed through the Thin Man through what's called transmissions, and these transmissions are explained here to be like endless by like the Thin Man when he's trapped inside one of them. And this is a transmission that's transmuted through every TV within each timeline. I get this. Time a lot of stuff. Um, it's like it's just an author statement to say like the transitions are for the humans of each timeline. And here is some concept art showing what happens to those who view the transmission for too long. It's really weird because Little Nightmares has zero commentary throughout the whole game, so I'm having to give this like weird stuff. So this would essentially be like the entire human race who watch TVs, and each iteration of this like infinite time space would all get sucked into the signal tower, which Momo upscales because the Thin Man powers it. Would you like me to show the Thin Man like?
No, that's fine. I already accepted it.
Oh, you accepted it? Okay.
Yeah. So clarify with me here. So you're basically saying this place is like infinite, right? And this guy like scales to it.
Yeah. So what it is it's an infinite time paradox where it's contained within like a transmission, and then there's a transmission for every TV, which infects everyone of the human race. So it's like Uni Plus for an entire race, just like Null is.
Okay. Sure.
All right.
All right. So that's it.
All right.
Wait. What's the speed cap for this tournament?
I do not remember. You can ask Corin since Corin's.
Hey, what's the speed cap for this tournament?
Yeah, it's immeasurable.
Immeasurable?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
All right.
Cool with me.
So do you want to go over speed then?
We can go over speed. We can go if you want.
All right. So I'm just gonna say this outright. I can get you an entire playthrough. Momo does not have very good speed at all. All right.
Look, bro.
Speed.
just send me the video and just tell me what happens, and then in a summarized manner.
Yeah.
I'll believe you.
I'm just gonna get. Let's see if I can find. I'm just gonna copy an entire playthrough. It's fine.
Oh hell.
There you go. Oh, it hasn't come through yet for some reason. I don't understand why it hasn't come through. I think I'm experiencing like, wait a second. I'm gonna post it again. I don't think that worked at all for some reason. I see it now. Can you see the whole walkthrough now?
Yeah, I see.
You can look at any part of that walkthrough. He's a 6-inch tall dude walking around. There is no impressive speed feat. Okay.
This ain't no like. I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but you're not just trying to say that to make me think that there's nothing impressive going on here, where there actually is.
If you want me to like clarify, he doesn't have any special speed thing. He just has things to get around that.
Well, is this immeasurable?
Let's see.
If this dude travels in time or something like that, I mean, if you can show me that, I'll be fine.
His hacks ability should be, because he's responsible for his own time paradox.
I mean, you know what? I'll still man that.
Still man the speed difference.
I mean, I'll just accept it. I'm bored. I'll just accept it. I just want this to be interesting.
Nah, it's not going to be interesting at all. Don't worry about it.
Oh, it is?
Nah.
Oh, all right. So,
do you want me to like show the time paradox thing again, or you just fine with that?
I'm fine with that.
Because his passive hacks ability is responsible for the time paradox, so his hacks ability should be at measurable speed, even if his normal like reaction time isn't.
Okay, so basically, Thor scaled a surfer who was able to travel back and forth through time.
Okay,
Get that.
nice and easy. All right.
Get that. Let's see.
So like both characters are measurable speed question mark. I mean, my character's only got measurable speed hacks, not even his own reaction time and stuff like that.
Or I'm gonna do a measure.
All right. Do you want to go over like win cons and stuff? I don't know.
I'm sure.
So, so in Little Nightmares, there's these things called the viewers, and what the viewers are is they're just victims of the signal tower, and they're just drawn to it like a sense of mind hacks. They just can't imagine a world without it. And this mind hacks are so potent that it physically distorts them.
So it's biological in it.
Well, the biological part is like a byproduct. That's just like how potent the mind hacks is.
Okay.
I can scale it further if you want, but let's see what happens.
I mean, sure, if you want to.
Well, it'd just be as simple as this is from the signal tower, and the signal tower, once it's fully like deformed people, and then just straight up consumes them. The thing that took us so long when I was like looking for stuff for this was trying to find the author statement. And then I just found the concept art that just shows them when they're fully drained, being summoned through the TV and then thrown through, like through the transmissions and stuff like that. And since this is part of the like time paradox where it just loops over and over again forever, that'd mean there's like an infinite number of times. So it'd be like infinite layers of this.
Infinite layers. Huh?
It would stack for each time you gained a body, because the very thing that's causing this time hacks is the same thing. Well,
So,
sorry, I didn't mean mind hacks. Sorry.
So let me cut you off there, right? So if that thing doesn't work on me first time, it won't work after, right? That's basically what I'm getting here.
Sorry, can you say that again?
If I resist it, well, say if I don't resist it, it's going to keep stacking and stacking.
No, that's more like that's more just an explanation of how like powerful it's grown to be. Because there's no given time for the number of times it's looped around. We just assume that it's gone round forever and ever, because it's like the whole point of a paradox is there is no start and end.
All right, I'll counter this.
All right.
All right, so Thor is able to resist the effects of Emma Frost, even when she had the power of like a portion of the Phoenix Force. She was completely unable to submit Thor's mind. He also like shattered her like mind projection too.
Oh, okay.
And when Thor was like had control of the All Black when he fought against Galactus, it was able to distort Thor's mind and make him have malicious intent and like try to do like basically just be a murderer. And Thor was able to come back to his senses because he was able to come back to his senses because of it. You know, because he's Thor.
So like Thor's extremely good against like mind hacks, specialized for, like corruption and stuff like that, right?
Yep.
What about mind hacks that's based on like dependence? Because we can say like for example, just to hypothesize, Thor in a lot of iterations is quite like dependent on his hammer, for example. What if the mind hacks based him in a world where he had to rely on his hammer and was attached to it?
Oh man, I never thought I would actually use this in the debate. During War of Realms, Thor came to a realization that it's not the hammer that makes him strong, it's the god within him. So he doesn't actually need the hammer to be strong. He doesn't have to rely on the hammer. It's himself that makes him strong.
So
And I'll get the scan for that if you want.
but don't worry too much about that. Actually, I thought so. Me giving the hammer is like a classic example. Like everyone knows about the hammer and stuff like that. Would you say there is something that Thor does depend on? Though? Could it be like Earth, for example? Would you say it depends on Earth?
He only does it to protect mortals. I mean, he used to depend on it when it was his mother Gaia was there, but after things got retconned, the Avengers Phoenix run, turns out his mother's actually the Phoenix.
Oh, okay. I actually didn't know that one.
Yeah.
Let's see what else. Oh, actually, you mentioned old King Thor, right?
Y'all.
In the old Thing Core story where he like uses the Necro sword, he fights off Galactus from eating Earth, if I remember correctly. So in that story, there isn't any life on Earth. So would you
There
say
is
like
life on Earth.
is it?
Yeah, his granddaughters are there.
Sorry, who's there?
His grandchildren are there.
I thought they were from Asgard. They just came over to help us.
They're on Earth, though.
But
I'm just hey, Kkrimbus, I'm just going by what you said.
wait a minute. No, if I remember correctly, they came to help him because when Galactus came to like consume the world, he was actually losing and he needed like help.
Well, he actually didn't really need help. He actually told him to leave. Then, after he did get clapped, he was launched into space, and he went to go find a Necro sword. And, Galactus.
So if they came like post him,
honestly, no, wait. I mean, I don't mean to cut you off. I honestly think that him losing to that Galactus is kind of an outlier. That Thor should be vastly a lot more stronger than that hungry Galactus.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Cause that's like a hungry Galactus too. He's proper desperate and stuff, and that makes sense. I was just thinking of more of the lines of there being like no life on Earth, showing that his like importance to Earth is a certain aspect to it.
I mean, I would think that him having an importance to something will make him fight a lot more harder.
Yeah. So I bring this up because there's another character in Little Nightmares called Six, and the story of Six. I'll just like summarize it quickly. She was like abused, and to comfort her, she had to have a music box. And this music box, when she was like entrapped by the signal tower, became her comfort, and this comfort kept her imprisoned as like a monster. As long as she had the music box, she was permanently imprisoned. So you'd say like if there was a representation of Earth within the signal tower, or like the mind hacks transmission, it would permanently keep Thor in there.
Well, I think this is like a what's the I don't want to say stellar battle or something. It's not the word I'm looking for. But what I'm basically trying to say is I believe that Thor would know that's not his Earth, even if it was like a representation of it. I don't really think that would like matter in this situation. Because that would be like, oh, this guy like has a car he loves so much, but then like this other guy has like another car that's not his, but look exactly like his. I think he would know the difference between which car is like his or not.
Has Thor been able to like tell the difference before though? Has this like sort of thing happened?
Like tell the difference between something else?
No, like has Thor ever been to like a fake Earth, you could say?
Battle World?
I mean, I'm not sure if that's a fake Earth.
It has Earth properties in it.
So the reason why I
Plus-
question Battle World being like a fake Earth because it's made
Oh,
of, like,
wait.
really different
Can I
things.
use a different example?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, Heroes Reborn.
Sorry, what happened to Heroes of Reborn again?
Thor began to realize that the reality we're within is not real and is not their reality.
Do you have that on hand? I can't remember. Sorry.
Sure. Let me get the rest of the scans.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Like, I can't remember, so I'm just reading through.
There you go.
Right. I just gotta read through the last three, and then I'll be ready. By the way, what's the context of like fake Earth in this story? You don't need to post it down. Like, what do you think it is?
Repeat that again. Could not understand that.
Oh, I'm sorry. What's the like context of the fake Earth in this story, or like fake world? Sorry.
Okay, so Mephisto uses power to make a Pandemonium gem, Pandemonium cube, which Coulson put his soul into, and it warped reality where the Avengers never existed, and the Squadron Supreme were actually the heroes. So every event that happened in Marvel, like Secret Wars, Battle World, Onslaught Saga, Gordy God Butcher, King in Black, instead of like the Avengers being there to stop it, the Squadron Supreme were there. And over the course of the story, the heroes began to realize that this is not their world, and they kept basically mind trolling the squadron to get them to think that, oh, this world is not theirs, this is the Avengers world. And over the course of the story, Thor began to understand that this is not his actual reality, and his reality was like, this is a fake reality, basically.
Okay. So I asked that to like see if it might the next point would be any use, but the next point would have been what if it was like based on Thor's experiences and stuff, which this one already is.
Hmm?
I was gonna ask if it was based off like his experiences and stuff like that, like if it was more realistic to Thor, but then it doesn't make any sense.
This is pretty realistic, Thor.
Um, so earlier I mentioned how like a byproduct of this like mind hacks could disfigure and warp people to the point they're like, yeah. And another byproduct, especially when like talking about Momo and the Thin Man, is It also works as subjective reality of those who are under its influence, like are just become part of like the world of the TV itself. So this is the same video from before, but earlier timestamps because it's just like showing examples of Thin Man.
Well, I think I already like proven enough about the reality part. For the whole biological part, which is that what you're basically saying, right?
It's both. It's both. If you're under it, you would start getting disfigured, and the properties of the subjective reality just make it easier to do this type of thing. Like, one of the things Thin Man can do, and it's noticed, he can like slow down time in subjective reality. He doesn't have that ability normally. It's because you're like under the transmission, which is passively done.
All right, so with the All Black, those who are who are like cut by it, or like basically their entire being is like destroyed from the inside out, and it destroys them.
So like, so I just want to ask, so that's like what to correlate with the biological part of this. Sorry.
Yep.
Um,
Also, it drains their powers too.
well, that's a good point. That was another thing I had. Oh yeah. Has Thor ever like? How does Thor handle when like multiple of these abilities are happening at once? Because this is subjective reality, mind hacks, and biological distortion at the same time.
Well, I take it as if someone has a resistance to set abilities, they should be able to take it all at once. Even if it's just like one at a time. So say if I have say you have like a hack that works as power null, energy absorption, and like mind hacks, and a character has resistance to set abilities, they should be able to resist those, unless they don't have resistance to like the latter.
Okay. Do they all stack to the same degree though? So like earlier I mentioned this is for every TV screen across the like infinite loop. So that would therefore be like infinite layers. So are they all like infinite layered or like do they have different degrees?
They should be infinite layered because reality.
Sorry, I was just gonna say you proved infinite layers for mind hacks, but what about like the other two?
For biological manip.
Yeah, and subjective reality, both of them.
Well, subjective reality would just affect like beings who scale above, like who scale like multi-eternity. So like beings like Null, for example, he would scale above beings like Herald King Thor, who scales above an Amp Galactus, who scales above Lifebringer, who like scales to like the Superflow. And it's like above like the lower multiverse, which has like infinite sets of infinite universes within it, and multiverses in it too.
If you use like the superflow, that's where like metaphors and stuff come to life. So wouldn't that be like outer scaling? So it'd be
not necessarily. Well, concepts wouldn't. Concepts can be like universal. Wait, how high are hacks are going to be? It's not like a hack.
There isn't any hacks cap. I don't remember. Just
There's no hacks cap.
You can
Yeah,
not.
it's Uni Plus. Yeah, it's Uni Plus.
Is that for hacks cap?
Yeah, Uni Plus for both. Yeah.
Wait, can we equalize hacks if that's fine?
I'm
y'all
okay
both
with
agree,
that.
but that's up to y'all.
I'm fine with equalizing hacks. Yeah, sure.
All right, so
All right, as long as both parties agree, then that's fine.
Yeah. Just skip the layers. Both. Well, your character had like resistances to some of this stuff. Let's see. Do what else I want to do quickly. After this, I'm going to show you the versus wiki profile of this character, and you see why this is such a struggle.
All right, so what now? So you done with that point, or you want me to go to my next WinCon? Well, my first WinCon actually.
Yeah, your first win gone. Just trying to think for a second. So part of I showed this earlier. I'll just sort of like repeat it. because this like works in another context. Because I mentioned how the signal tower works by like consuming those who like view the TV and like the transmissions and all that. Because of this, it also biologically absorbs those who do it once they're like fully like immersed by the signal tower. And so I just like repeat the same scan of them getting absorbed, and the inside of the signal tower is that eye right there. It's a biological being. And I'll just get the scan of Momo being able to just passively summon it. Like he literally waves his hand and it appears right in front of him because he calls it without it like wanting to be there because it's actually its enemy. So this would mean like he could passively summon the thing that has again the same number of layers, but it's pointless weak with hacks. But it would like be able to just biologically consume. It'd be like a different type of hacks because instead of distortion, it'd be like consumption on contact.
So you're going to absorb me into it?
Yeah.
Like what? My energy, my being?
It should be physical and mind. Because the mind
Well,
stuff is like shipping beforehand, and the
Well,
physical
I already covered the mind part,
yeah.
and I think I already covered the biological part pretty well.
Well, the biological portion.
Yeah, the biological portion. Because that sword not only infects you, or like the sword from the inside also like power knows you and try to absorb your energy or your essence.
Oh, okay. So doing this power nulls the signal tower. Okay.
Yep.
Sir, yes, sir.
That's not a thing. I don't think I can stack anything higher at the moment. So your first one, Com. Go ahead.
Okay, so does this guy have any resistance to like
Who the fuck are you talking to? Check.
conceptual hacks?
Then the officer
He has a way around it, but he doesn't have a resistance to it.
What's his way around it?
So the way the time paradox works is as soon as Momo gets trapped in the signal tower, the Thin Man powers the signal tower and causes the paradox. So should you try and kill Momo, he can just seal himself and call the paradox and summon himself from the past again.
So it's an immortality?
It's like a sense of like more like revival. And like the signal tower just endlessly stacks this because it can just keep doing it.
So wait, what is this then? It does sound like an immortality.
It'd be more like a time immortality because
so what type would you know what? Who's looking verse about Wiki?
I'm gonna check that too. I'm not actually sure which one.
I'm gonna look at that.
It also sounds like some type of acausality too, so you might want to look into that. It kind of sounds like either that or immortality.
Yeah, let's check both. I'm not too familiar with acausality, so I have to check that. Oh, I see.
Because if it's immortality and acausality, that works good for me. All right, so
I think it might be like
what it sounds like, it brings them back repeatedly. It sounds like a form of resurrection or reincarnate. No, I don't think it's reincarnation. More like resurrection.
It's more of it's more of like just a natural flow of things. As soon as he's trapped in by the like natural order of things, the next Momo appears, or the same Momo because it's a paradox.
Let me think. Oh, a paradox. I don't know why I didn't think of this before. Let me look at acausality.
But I was just saying, I think it'd be like type 8 immortality, and this type 8 supports acausality. It's reliant on the signal tower.
Look at a causality real quick.
The first part of A causality is the like time paradox immune. Well, it says immunity, but temporal simultaneity. It does not exist near path presence. Very difficult. I guess it'd be more like type 3 A causality. It's a bit weird because it's the same one like returning over and over.
What does type 3 say?
In type 3 A causality mixed with like type 8 immortality because it's depending on the signal power over and over again.
No, I mean, what does it say on the wiki about what type 3 is?
Oh, I'll just copy and paste that. See, I don't have to like read it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. That'd be like the easiest for you. There you go. Type 3, temporal permanence carriers incredibly difficult to kill. It's other versions themselves at other point in time. It's not other points in time, it's a loop of time. But same idea. It's
Okay.
really weird because I don't think Versus Wiki properly like tier this type of characters.
All right. So this is gonna be a really big argument.
Okay.
I'm gonna say that Thor can just he's gonna kill. He's gonna like sever his like type of immortality and his acausality via like scaling the gore. Because Gore, when he was like bonded with the All Black for thousands of years, it literally became like a part of him. So like even if a single piece exists, Gore will still literally resurrect himself. Because in the King Thor run, Gore was only a projection made by the Necrosword. So as long as like the All Black existed, he will exist. And then when he was like his projection was killed, he it took over the All Black, and it like eventually merged with Multi Eternity. And then Thor was able to destroy the All Black entirely and like defeat Gore that way.
All right.
And Eternity.
I was gonna say that's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and Multi Eternity represents like time and space. All the creation, well, basically all causalities actually.
The bits I need scans for is Gore being tied to like the All Black and like in the way you described it and Thor negative. Like,
Sure.
I know there's a lot of stuff there, so it'd be like easier just to post those bots that are specific for it. Like I'm not gonna try and argue against eternity being like space and time. That's stupid.
Yeah, that would be a really. I don't know why you would do that.
Yeah.
That's just straight nitpicking. Unnecessary amount of nitpicking.
Yeah. That's a losing argument. That's what it is.
In case you didn't accept this, I have like another argument I could work with.
Let me read through it first before I like confirm or deny.
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh shit! Internet went out. Hold on. It's gonna take a while.
Okay, that's fine.
Why it had to be so hot?
Considering the wait we had before this debate, I think it's perfectly fine.
Oh man, I didn't want this to happen like this. Right, I think it's working now. But the thing didn't show up. What the fuck?
Just repost it. If it appears twice, it appears twice.
That's a lot of scams.
Oh, great.
Holy shit! It went out again. What the hell?
What was that, sorry?
I said my internet went out again. Hold on.
Oh.
This is getting tired. This is getting exhausting.
So let's just like a reminder for a second. So you're saying this like immortality Gore has is via like the Necro Sword, and it allows him to exist constantly. And Thor negative.
Yep. I could also get you a scan of Jason Aaron saying that he merged with Multi Eternity in a sense.
I don't think that would be as necessary. It's less specific.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna say that Thor gonna like kill this little bag dude that's like 6 inches. Oh yeah, going to sever his connection. Kill him. Yeah. There.
Okay, now I just want to argue this. So when it comes to the paradox, Momo as like the little dude, the thin man, and the signal tower all exist at the same time, even though one of them is his future self. So wouldn't you agree that Thor would attack the thin man, the tall, more intimidating, aggressive of the three of them, at the very least? So that would mean that the paradox can still happen.
I mean, I think that since it's basically type A immortality, right? Even if I attack like, say, the main body or something, if I have the ability to negate your immortality, it wouldn't matter if I like attack just the actual place. I could just kill you regardless.
So
It's a lot how it'll be a lot like how Superman like killed like Darkseid.
Yeah, I understand that. I was more or less asking this because the way the time paradox works is the past creates the future. So if you destroy the future self instead of the past self, the loop can still happen.
I mean, I still think that given that Gore merged with Multi Eternity, he would also have all his properties. That would include like multiple timelines or infinite timelines within him. That also include like the causalities that also exist within him as well. Thor is like still able to like kill Gore even when he merged with Eternity. So even if this character you have, even if I kill like say the past self, I mean the future self, and the present and past remains, it wouldn't really matter because I would still kill you regardless, or kill all of you. I just sever off your connection.
So would this severed connection still happen if the thing that causes the connection to still exist? Because like the signal tower is a different entity that's forcefully controlled by Thin Man and Momo. So
So
it's
is this?
like
Are they like? Okay, here's the question: are they linked to this tower?
Thin Man's linked, Momo is not.
All right. So and does Momo have like a connection with Tin Man or whatever the name is? Tin Man.
He has a connection to Thin Man via time paradox, yes.
Okay, so I mean, well, probably still maybe would work because if I killed you, your connection with Thin Man will be severed. That's basically where your immortality would stem from. That's where it would that's how the connection is. It's like a chain. Cut one part of the chain off, the rest will just not have the other link there.
I'm just more saying that the link itself is the tower, which is powered by. Well, it's not just powered; it's also given life by the Thin Man who becomes Momo. Because I'll just put this in just for the sake of doing it. But the when Momo summons the signal tower, I'll just put both of these timestamps in. He does so after he kills the Thin Man. It's just the Thin Man's no longer controlling it, so it's it then becomes its own being and then continues onwards. That makes sense.
So now I'm a little confused. Is this tower in the battle with us, or is just Momo by himself?
So Momo's existence causes the Thin Man to exist, which causes the tower to exist. And if the Thin Man stops existing, the tower will still exist, but its motive changes because it changes to wanting to absorb Momo to become Thin Man.
So, I think I get it, but
Yeah,
it's weird. I'm trying to think that if I kill Momo, regardless, will he even come back? Really?
No. This whole thing is based on if you kill Thin Man, which I was arguing is the more intimidating, aggressive of Momo and the Thin Man. The Thin Man's more aggressive and stuff, so it makes sense he'd kill him instead of Momo. Ugh. Oh, ran out of breath. So, I was arguing if you kill Thin Man, this whole thing can take place, which will just revive Momo, regardless of Thin Man's death.
I don't know. That's a weird. I mean, I explained why, to the best of my abilities, why I can still kill you. I mean, if you want to leave it up to the judge, there's nothing else I can say because I'm just that confused.
Yeah. That's perfectly fine. It's the thing that causes this paradox is both linked and not linked to the character, depending on what happens. So it's very weird. So yeah, we'll leave this to the judges. You said you had another wing on earlier.
I had conceptual hacks.
Right.
And I mean, does your character? I mean, conceptual hacks doesn't necessarily have to kill you. I mean, it can yeah. So does Momo have any resistance to conceptual hacks?
Not unless you consider subjective reality a form of conceptual hack.
Subjective reality.
So I'll add a bit more context to explain what I mean. So the subjective reality originates.
Oh, you mean that thing you used earlier, right?
Yeah, the thing that passively happens with Thin Man.
Oh, I think we went through that already.
Yeah, but so what I more mean is so when subjective reality is used in this franchise, it comes from a TV screen which has no relation to the real world. They come out and they have all this power automatically instituted, it just transfers automatically. Would you say that this transfer is also conceptual?
It doesn't sound like it's conceptual. It just sounds like it's just transmitting waves to like the people, or
So,
get like hooked or
I'll get
something.
something to like I'll just get something to explain this a little bit better. Um, so here's a timestamp to this same video that I'm just posting because the man's only like appearances, and that is what happens is he comes out of the TV's screen of subjective reality, and he brings it with him. And when it comes with him, the world changes to match that subjective reality. So I'm asking, would you say that change is subconceptual, not like?
Oh, the change.
I
Okay. Well,
don't think it's inherently
honestly,
itself subconceptual. I mean, like
well,
the
it
change.
sounds from the way you describe it, it sounds like he used the hack. It's not that he like skills or have resistance to said hack. It's just like he performed the hack by doing this.
Yeah. So the weaker version, which is Thin Man, passively did this. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about that. From the way it's described, it sounds like the character like performed the ability. It doesn't say necessarily means like he himself would have resistance to said ability unless it's like shown.
All right. So for the sake of the debate, we'll just leave that to judges.
Yeah.
That should be very clear cut, but like let's leave it to judges. Um, let's see. Could I think of anything else? I forgot. I don't think I have any more WinCon.
Okay. Well, I got another one.
All right.
Does this Momo have any resistance to like narrative hacks?
No, he doesn't.
Oh boy. Well, I guess there's no point in me posting scans for that then.
Yeah, I know what you're about to post. Just like literally anything ever.
That's banned. So,
Oh shit! Oh, shit!
but
My bad. Damn. Fuck, that's not even right. That was a good wig cock too. But I didn't use it though. I didn't use it.
I can't call you up for something until you've done it, so it's fine.
Man, what the fuck? Does Momo have resistance to like power nose has absorption?
He should actually, yeah, because the signal tower, like I showed earlier, like absorbs all the people through it, and it gains its power from that, as well as the power from the Thin Man. And Momo forcefully like controls it straight after the Thin Man like exits and gets killed by Momo. So I actually say yes to that because I was like, that's similar to like the point I made, just like coming from you instead of me.
I'm trying to think.
Yeah, I got a really weird character.
Okay. Well, does Momo have any way to counter or like resistance to where, say, if I absorb his energy, right? But I release, I like redirect that energy back at him like 100 times over.
um, hmm. How does he? I'm going to ask this. How does he like absorb his power?
He like use Mjolnir to like absorb his energy. Like Thor just using Mjolnir to absorb his energy and like redirect that same energy back at him 100-fold.
So the way his offensive power would work is he like bends the when you're in subjective reality, he bends that form of you while in it. So I'm not sure if that's like something he can redirect. Like that's like if someone was to like use space manipulation to bend your body, right, it wouldn't make sense that you could absorb that as if it was an energy blast. Because I'd like it's a bit like trying to absorb telekinesis with an energy absorption thing. It's like a bit weird. Could you like um d- see if it can match those criteria a bit better? I guess because it just sounds a bit odd to say that those qualify as the same thing.
Man, this guy doesn't have like any form of life energy in him, like any like essence or soul.
He should have a few actually, but I have to get those because I don't have them on hand. So there's these things called the glitch childs, and the glitch childs are like previous victims who like just instantly stole away. They were stole away so fast that their like soul remained, and he can go around the game to like get all 13 of them to get like the secret ending. So yeah, he actually would because throughout the game he just goes absorbs them, and the secret ending's canon because it's this secret ending explains that Little Nightmares 2 is a prequel to Little Nightmares 1.
So he has like the souls or like energy within him, like their powers within him.
Yeah, because
I
he
mean,
goes around.
that should still work. I mean, that should still be fine then.
I'll just get that quick. Yeah. That shouldn't be too hard to find. Never mind, I got an advert. I'm just surprised I'm using this. I didn't think this would be relevant at all. Damn it, lost a scan server. There you go. There's like all the different examples of it.
Let's see.
I can probably also get you an example of what these glitch children are, because there's an example from like one of the previous things. Why is this happening to me? I'll just have to go. So there's an example in that previous video that's literally above it, and what it is Six gets sucked in by Thin Man, and she gets like turned into a glitch child with only like her spirit remaining. And I can prove that like this whole spirit thing is also like life absorption, soul absorption, that type of stuff. I just have to.
No, all right. I mean, I'll grant this. And let me get my reasoning for energy absorption and like essence. Let's see.
Do you not want me to post my verse? Because that's probably should be.
Oh, sure.
Okay, one of them's a timestamp in the previous video, right? But another video that I haven't done yet. So.
Oh my god. Bruh, narrative hacks better not be like banning that multiversal plus tournament. That's like my ultimate card. That's bullshit.
I mean, that sounds pretty like. If you use that, that might probably be screwed.
That is bullshit. That's you. That's a saving grace for you right there.
Yeah, exactly. So 235 Six gets like sucked up and her glitch remains as a, and I just need the ending of Little Nightmares 1 to show that Six has the ability to like absorb souls and stuff, and she literally just exits a building, absorbing everyone's soul on the way out.
Okay. Is that it for that? Or more?
I say everyone, but it's in a completely different location, so it doesn't relate to these other characters. They're just like upscaling for this feat in particular.
All right. So you got Thor absorbing Loki's immortality, and you can argue that Loki has like type 8. Well, all gods have type 8. Let me get that.
Wait. When you say all gods of Type A, you're like referring to like Ragnarok cycle and stuff like that, or
That I mean, you could argue. Well, due to the context, it was mostly referring to like Asgardians, but then you could say like other pantheons have like Type 8.
yeah. So I only asked because the Ragnarok cycle would happen even if like a god's immortality.
Oh, I'm not we're talking about that.
Okay. That's all the only reason why I asked.
Okay, before I post it, I just gotta ask. I want to make sure I'm breaking rules. So, if a character's immortality is tied to a story, is that narrative hacks? Even though it's Type 8.
I'm gonna say no.
That's not narrative hacks.
If you're not affecting on an offensive
Right.
way or like like narrative manip, or you're not, that's not what you're arguing.
Whew.
Like Type 8
Okay.
in itself, if it falls under Type 8 in itself, then it would be Type 8. It's not like you're trying to attack him with narrative manip or offensively, attack him with narrative manip.
I would have said something different. You can argue someone's history or timeline is also called a story, so it's like ill-defined to call it narrative hacks.
Whew. Okay, that's good. All right, here. Here's Thor absorbing Loki's immortality.
Also, I was just speaking up as the judge. I thought he was like asking me if that was illegal, but that's all.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Here's a scan from Agent of Asgard where Loki states that all gods are like living stories, pure symbols and metaphors.
What's that from? Sorry.
Agent of Asgard.
Okay, that's not a story I've heard of, so I'd be like. Although that image looks familiar. I guess I just don't remember.
And you have Loki being stated to be like the god of stories.
Wait, when
So he's like,
isn't God of Stories like relating to the House of Ideas?
I mean, you could argue that.
That's a bit.
But, hey, I'm not using it offensively though. So basically, my argument is that since like gods, like their whole like ideas stem from like narratives, like stories. Even if you kill like say a god, right? Their very story will still exist, and they'll eventually like return. That's what happened with That's what you brought up with Ragnarok. You can argue that's basically what happened since like Thor he did die, or like the gods died. It's just that they got reincarnated, or their souls went to like different places. And Agent of Asgard, Loki was able to like save the stories of like the gods. They still exist because their stories exist. And you got Thor over there able to absorb like Loki's immortality regardless of this.
Can I just ask a question?
Mm-hmm.
Where are the stories of like these characters located?
Well, all story you can say that there's like multiple arguments for like where stories go to. Stories like forgotten characters go to like limbo. You have like a multi-eternity, like whole existence being like narratives. And then there's also like the argument for where they are in the House of Ideas.
So the reason why I asked that is, so when the signal tower was in like controlling Six, it was able to affect Six's past, present, like future, to the point where it was spawning things that come from a future timeline of like the game, which is consistent with the whole time paradox thing. But what this would essentially mean is it would have knowledge of where the stories comes from, and because of how the signals can be broadcasted anyway, it would just go to where the stories are and like neg them.
It's gonna neg my stories.
Okay, if it's like in the House of Ideas, right? The stories are contained within like a book, and you can burn the book. That's what I mean. Like if it, this is also dependent on if Thor knows this as well.
Thor knows it.
I think Thor will know because this is so composite Thor includes Ruin King Thor.
Well, Rune King Thor is not that strong. I can tell you that right now. But
No, don't worry about that. I don't care about strength. I'm just caring about when he hung himself to try and get like the knowledge of like the past, present, and future of Asgard, which I would presume means he knows where Asgardian stories go to.
Yeah, in a way he would know about that. But I was like arguing like type A immortality. I was just saying it was going to like absorb like. That was just the argument for like energy absorption.
Oh yeah. Don't worry. Sorry, I kind of cut in with another win con. Sorry about that. I've been trying to think of one. You continue. I'll talk afterwards.
And let's see. And there's like Thor absorbing like ounces of energy and redirected back him back 100-fold. I'm at 100-fold. I could also probably like say I could argue 10 times via like Warrior's Madness if it comes like if Thor's like pushed to that.
I guess it's like kind. Do you remember when I was saying earlier? It was a bit like I was asking for context. It was a bit weird to say like redirecting energy is like the same thing as like being bent within subjective reality.
Oh, I was just using that to say like you said that the energy the people he absorbed like have souls and they would have like an essence.
Yeah, that goes within the signal.
And yeah, that's why I was saying like he would like absorb that essence still and still like redirect it back.
Oh, okay. But if he uses his subjective reality hacks instead of using like a broad energy attack, would this still work?
He don't necessarily have to use a broad energy attack. Thor can just like with Loki right there, he just held his hammer up and like absorb his like immortality or his like his life force.
That brings me to another thing. And when he's doing like Loki, he has like a mini speech. Is that required?
A mini speech?
Yeah, like a mini speech and like position everything. Is that required?
I think he's just doing what Thor does, you know. He says all those high praising words. We really appreciate your help.
Do we have anything?
I don't really.
If it's like not some Doctor Strange ritual type thing, a ritual.
I don't really think it's like a ritual. I think that he's just saying shit. If anything, that wouldn't really make sense since he's able to like absorb like energy or magic. That's like required. Doesn't even require a chant.
But so wouldn't you agree that like the immortality of an Asgardian, which links to a story, is a lot like is more fundamental and different than compared to just basic magic of an Asgardian?
Look, what I'm basically saying is, since he's basically absorbing a form of energy, right? He should be able to do the same thing to like your character. I'm not arguing he's like taking away his immortality. I'm arguing he's taking away the energy within the character and redirecting it back at that person.
Okay. So then I would simply ask. So the thing that like powered Momo, I told you this. It was like 13 glitch children, right?
Yep.
So those 13 don't really compare to what the signal tower has, which is the corpse of every single person throughout the time paradox. So if you were to just take it away, he can probably just power himself back up with the same thing.
The fortress in Arizona, USA. There are 2 pentagons in the United States.
Repeat that again.
One is in Arlington, Virginia.
So in the time paradox, the one thing that doesn't, well, it does change. The thing that just constantly is like outside of it is the signal tower, and it will constantly grow throughout the time paradox, which infinitely loops. Because of such, there's infinite bodies, and because of such, if you were to like redirect and or drain the souls of Momo, which is a finite 13 number, this is the only confirmed number he's had, then the signal tower can just repower him instantly. It's like a fresh source for him to draw from, which he does have a connection to because he forcefully summoned it and such. There's also there's another way to get out of it if you'd prefer to hear that.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
Yes. Whatever the hell he the Unchained
Damn, I
One.
can't even use fate
So
with it in
famous
this
in
season.
so many places.
I'm being like saved by the rules.
He said, bring him right away.
I mean,
Then immediately went to visit him. The officers were
I guess
promptly talking
I could probably argue existence erasure.
They will get you.
How would Thor have existence erasure?
These guys fighting.
Be of the Odin
One
Force.
prisoner then shouted.
So like the Odin Force has existence erasure just like tied to it.
Rocky then said,
That's just a part. It's like one of the abilities within the Odin Force.
Can you like show a scan for that, sorry?
Let's get it.
So is it based on that like top scam where he says he'll like remove you from existence?
And here's another one.
I don't get that second scan. Sorry, what's that meant to do?
Live here.
There's the rest. That's
15
it.
prisoners. Then
Oh,
Baki
so-
based
okay, sorry. So I think these can there's actually two interpretations for both of these. So, like the first one, when it says like remove you from existence, could that be not interpreted as like a form of BFR type thing, or like it will remove your soul and put it elsewhere?
I think the second. I think the last scan will most support the first scan because it says that he would blink him out of existence if he wishes to.
Yeah. That
When
could
you
also
think of
be
like
like
blink, when I think of like blink, it mostly like to be like his existence like be erased, or like he's gonna like push him out of reality or something like that.
So oh god. I'm trying to think. So wait, these people are talking about Odin's abilities, right?
Yep.
Has this like been demonstrated? Are they like just speculating because he's the All Father? You know, like
This is the first time it happened. But they know about the ability.
oh, okay. I what would be like the limitation in a sense of if I was in another place, could Odin still existence erase me? Like what would happen?
Well, they would have to go on what his restoration means.
Because like it's just off the like phrase blinking out of existence, right? It's kind of vague. So I'm just wondering if I'm in a different like realm, would it still be able to affect me? Like what happens?
Would you be in a different realm? What do you mean by you being in a different realm?
So like how the Thin Man does, Momo can travel through like transmissions of the TV. So we can literally go into a different subjective reality and like return at any point.
Then wait, why couldn't I just follow that character there?
No, there's no reason why you can't, but there's no reason why like that just couldn't continue. Because if you can do it one way, you can do it like the other way and just like go back and forward. It'd be like a game of
It would pretty much go back and forth. Though I would have higher speed than you, so I could do it even before you're able to like jump to another place. So I still would be able to hit you regardless. In fact, I would also apply the other hacks though, because I have higher speed than you. That means I would be able to blitz you.
well, one thing I mentioned when under like subjective reality, time is like bound by that subjective reality. That's how like Thin Man's able to move at different speeds and such. So
does he have to actually move his body there?
That's a good question. I'm actually not sure because we see
Because
sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't.
Because I'm assuming if that's the case, I should be able to follow you and blitz you before you be able to do it.
On a different note, what if I BFR'd you? What happens then?
Then I'll just open a portal and come right back.
So if you were BFR'd into another realm, and then I went into one of several transmissions, would you be able to know where I am?
I should be able to sense you.
Can you show that like sensory ability to sense people in different realms and such?
Cosmic awareness?
Yes.
All right.
I'm really trying not to forfeit this.
All right, so basically what I'm gonna argue is that since Thor was like the Herald of Thunder, he would have the power cosmic. It also allowed him to give him like the basic abilities that person has like power cosmic for like cosmic awareness. And I'm gonna use Surfer for an example. All right, I got 3 scans here. Basically, it is that Surfer is able to like track down Mephisto even in his own realm.
Wait, could you say that again, sir?
I said Surfer is able to track down Mephisto when he's in his own realm.
But that's in the same realm. I was saying like in a different realm.
Oh, here's him tracking his way back from a different dimension.
I mean, I'm sorry, I'm seeing everything.
And if that didn't work, I mean, it should still work. I mean, Thor, I mean, I don't see why, since it's like a basic ability of like people who have like the power of cosmic. Thor should be able to do the exact same thing. And if that's not the case, we can go for like future sight, where he will be able to know exactly where he is.
I think that might be like a better option because I'm just questioning this like sensing in a different dimension. That's what I'm sort of questioning here. But if you got future sight, that'd be easier for you.
Yep, bring King Thor. And you know what? You basically just said it too for me. Well, bad.
Well, I've exhausted literally everything, so I guess that's it then.
Okay, cool.
All right. So that'll be a concession on my part.
All right. That was a good debate. I did not expect that. I'm gonna be honest. If those hacks were not banned, things would have been a lot different.
Yes, it would. By the way.
Oh my god! But it helped me adapt, so it's cool.
Okay. Knight, this is the versus wiki profile for the same character I just used.
Yeah, I looked at that last night. Like when Phoenix brought the character up, I'm like, what the fuck? Who is this? And I looked up there, like, there ain't no way this character could be that much of an issue.
Yeah, another average human. Yeah.
Wait, hang on. So he gave out your win cons yesterday?
No. So I'm using a character no one heard of, and I was just showing Phoenix how stupid it is for me to use this character.
The Thin Man from Little Nightmares? I know Little Nightmares.
No, I was using Momo, and I was saying that his passive existence creates Thin Man.
Oh, Momo. Oh, yeah.
I'm not even saying it right. It's Mono. For God's sake, I can't even say it right. I'm an idiot.
Well, either way. I mean, either way, it's like he is city level. He is like easily like city level to like multi city block easily.
Don't worry, that's not the cap of this. It was Uni Plus.
Yeah. That's what I got told. Because when I was hearing this, I was like, okay, so like a city level character. But then I heard Thor. I was like, wait a minute, how in the world is Thor city level?
Don't worry, that wasn't the cap.
Still the Spider-Man.
Unclear result.
Yeah. But anyway, people can unmute. I've conceded. Like I've ran out of options.